Hey guys, Lexus Driver here. Now, before we start this video, I'm gonna say some spoilers from two movies, The Bad Guys 2 and Zootopia 2. So if you haven't watched these movies, I strongly recommend you don't watch this video, but if you did, then you're on the safe side. But anyways, let's get to the video. So, as you can see here, I've made a poll on my channel. So I said here on this poll, who is the most evil animated main antagonist character? And so the choices I have here are Kitty Cat from The Bad Guys 2 and Milton Lynxley from Zootopia 2. So as of now, I haven't gotten a lot of votes, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of votes favoring Milton Lynxley. And um, I'm gonna say out from the bat here that the most evil animated main antagonist character I'm gonna say is Milton Lynxley. Now, why I choose Milton Lynxley as the most evil, why I choose Milton Lynxley as being the most evil main antagonist character, it's because Milton Lynxley he does very evil acts compared to Kitty Cat because Kitty Cat she's a bad guy, but compared to Milton Lynxley, Kitty Cat she has limits. Whereas Milton Lynxley, he would go beyond limits to protect his legacy, even as doing something very criminal, like very evil. Milton Lynxley, he's preserving his father his grandfather's legacy that resulted in the mass banishment of the reptiles of the reptile population of Zootopia, and this caused a century long this caused a century long banishment of the reptiles, and he even went as far as to trying to eradicate Marsh Market, which Marsh Market is used as a safe haven for the reptiles trying to flee the persecution of the Lynxleys. Um, and um, there's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things I can say about Milton Lynxley being more evil compared to Kitty Cat. Milton Lynxley, he even used his children to do his dirty work, but he favors his oldest son, Catrick Lynxley, and his only daughter. Kitty Lynxley, which is pretty ironic because both the Bad Guys 2 and Zootopia 2, there's an antagonist named Kitty. So the Bad Guys 2, it's Kitty Cat. Zootopia 2, Kitty Lynxley. And Milton Lynxley, he's very abusive towards his youngest son, Poppert. And Poppert Lynxley, he is an antagonist, but he's a hidden antagonist until the big reveal. So when I read that he's an antagonist, I didn't let my guard down because there's a good chance. The reason why I didn't let my guard down because I know that since he's a hidden antagonist, there's a good chance that that Paubert's gonna screw over the protagonist Judy, and also Gary the Snake, which I have right here, which is heavily whom he's heavily inspired by Mr. Snake from the Bad Guys. So um, another reason why Milton Lynxley is more evil than Kitty Cat. Milton Lynxley, he's very racist. He's very xenophobic, and he would do anything. I mean, anything, even as far as to assaulting a police officer like Nick Wilde, and attempting to murder a police officer like Judy Hopps, and even attempting to murder his own son, to preserve uh, all to preserve his phony legacy of his grandfather. That his grandfather invented the weather walls, when in reality it was Gary the Snake's great grandmother who invented the walls. Um, so that's why Milton Lynxley, he's more evil than Kitty Cat, and also what makes him even more evil is it also shows you how much of a coward he is. Milton Lynxley, when he realizes the jig is up, he even used his children as shield, and he's not even like willing to fight against Mayor Winddancer, who Winddancer, after he realizes the truth, he turned against the Lynxleys, and then Winddancer, beats the hell out of the Lynxleys and also knocked out Milton Lynxley. And also, um, uh, Paubert's sanity by the aftermath of the climax. Paubert's sanity, just like he lost his sanity, and he tries doing everything he can to prove that he's a real Lynxley. He even when he broke into the Snake residence where Judy, Nick, Gary, and Nibbles are, to get to get the preserved the preserved patent that Gary's great grandmother left behind. He tried to burn the patent down and the house down using a lantern, and then he threw it like a Molotov cocktail. But fortunately, Captain Hogbottom arrives just in time and knocked out Paubert Lynxley, and afterwards the Lynxleys are arrested and sent to prison. Now, comparing the two that went to prison, Kitty Cat and Milton Lynxley, I'm gonna say that Milton Lynxley in prison is more satisfying than Kitty Cat, because Kitty Cat, as much as that she's the main antagonist, Kitty Cat, she deserves a redemption arc, but Milton Lynxley, it's very satisfying to see him in prison, because Milton Lynxley, as I said, he's more evil than Kitty Cat. He like Milton Lynxley, he deserves to be in prison for what he's done. And on top of that, it was a major victory for the Marsh Market residents, because with Milton Lynxley arrested and imprisoned along with his three children, the expansion of Tundra Town that would wipe out Marsh Market is officially canceled. The what's this called? The reptiles are finally welcomed back to Zootopia, and the reptile population can finally settle back into Zootopia. But you know, Zootopia 3, which would be the future Zootopia film that's going to make Zootopia a trilogy. Um, you know, even after a century of the reptiles, being kicked out of Zootopia, banished from their own land, you know, I'm gonna say that the after effects will linger for quite some time, because uh, you know 100 years of banishment from Zootopia. There's gonna be a lot of systemic racism that still has to be that still has to be addressed and eradicated, because even though the reptiles finally even though the reptiles are finally welcomed back to Zootopia, um, I can say that we don't see it, but I'm pretty sure the after effects will still linger for quite some time, because the reptiles, they're still trying to reintegrate themselves into Zootopia life. Because Milton Lynxley, even though he's arrested, he caused so much damage to the reptile population, and it was really it was really hard to gain back a lot of the trust uh, the um, the reptiles are trying to regain. But it was really good that Gary's great grandmother was finally given the credit she deserves for building the Zootopia walls, the Zootopia climate walls. There was a statue of Agnes the Snake, which is Gary the Snake's great grandmother, in the reptile neighborhood, and that statue remains there. And then the ribbon cutting ceremony was also very satisfying to see, because now that the reptiles can finally live freely in Zootopia, and it's really good to see that that Gary and his family are finally reunited, and really it's really cool to hear them scream in joy, and and then Gary introducing Judy to his family, and then he says permission to hug. They eventually hug, so it's really satisfying. So that's why I'm arguing that Milton Lynxley, he's more evil than Kitty Cat, because Milton Lynxley, in summary, he's very racist. He's very xenophobic. He's willing to wipe out the entire reptile population, even going as far as to expanding Marsh Market to even force more of the lesser mammals, as he says, like, quote unquote, lesser mammals, as he says, remove them from Marsh Market and expand Tundra Town. And he even assaulted a police officer, Nick Wilde, and attempted to murder a police officer, Judy Hopps, and even tried to kill his own son. So that's why my argument, in summary, is Milton Lynxley, he's more evil than Kitty Cat. So yeah, that's my entire argument of who's the most evil animated main antagonist. I'm gonna say, from the bottom of my heart, 100% Milton Lynxley. He's more evil than Kitty Cat. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on new content I have on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a good day, everybody.